Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be sharing our very first obstacle course with you today. So let's not waste time and let's jump into it. A local horse rescue a few towns over hosts this obstacle event to raise donations, and I just had to sign up. I mean, helping rescue horses and learning something new with Gus? Yes, please. I thought I'd walk you through some of the obstacles and share my thoughts along the way. And you might wonder, why do people do obstacle courses? Well, because they're great for building partnerships, improving communication, and confidence for both the horse and the handler. And this course was actually a lot more intense than I expected, and it had some pretty scary obstacles. So I decided to walk Gus through everything on the ground, and I won't lie, it was a little bit intimidating, and he was definitely nervous at first, but he worked through everything so well. And just a quick disclaimer, I am not a professional trainer. I'm simply sharing what I've learned from trainers over the years and my own experience. So let's go. Starting off strong with the very scary pinwheel. And yes, Gus was scared of this pinwheel. And basically, what I decided to do with him was just slowly show it to him little by little. And I was like, okay, he's still really nervous. I'm going to just kind of get in between him. I also wanted to fix this one that was falling down. I didn't like that it was laying down on the ground like that. I didn't want it to get tangled in his legs or anything like that. So I just wanted to take it slow. I thought, okay, let me walk him around and let me block him from the pinwheel, like be kind of a in-between safety net for him. And I'm like, okay, what we do to one side, we do to the other. Let's do it again the other direction. And I just wanted to see how he did walking around the obstacle with me kind of helping be a buffer. And then I decided to stop the pinwheel from moving and let him go investigate. And he did. And he went and touched it. And I was so proud of him. I was like, good boy. I couldn't believe that he did that so well. He's really curious. This was just such a scary event. And I did it again. And he went and explored it again. I was like, oh my gosh, good boy. And I decided to walk him off again, just to let him have a break away from that pressure. I just felt like he did such a good job trying to be brave, and now he needed to get a little break from the stimulation, and I just wanted to take things easy with him. We were out here for hours, you guys. And so there was more pinwheels over here, and we decided to go through these since he had kind of learned these were okay. You can see he's still watching them, but he was like, okay, I understand. These aren't too scary. I think if you're leading me through them, I'm okay. So he did such a good job. I was so proud of him. Next, we decided to explore these feathers, and he did really good with that. He was a little curious, a little nervous, but he did good. Okay, up next, this one was honestly terrifying. This one scared me so much. I did not like these hanging thingies, and the tarp was flapping like crazy in the wind. And I was so nervous that we were going to be tangled up in this obstacle, but Gus did a really good job. And in fact, at one point, he did actually get his halter caught on one of the strings, and I had to untangle it from his halter. Personally, this was not my favorite obstacle. And as you can see, Gus did not like this obstacle either. And I just was like, let me just try to encourage him, see if he'll follow me through this absolutely terrifying obstacle. And I know he was scared. And honestly, I was a little scared too. And I was like, come on, Gus, like, let's just move your feet a little bit. You can do it. Come with me. And he did. And he did so amazing. I was so proud of him. I was like, oh my gosh, you're such a good boy. I couldn't believe that he followed me through this terrifying obstacle. And after we went through it, he was like, okay, I kind of know what this is about now. It doesn't feel quite as scary, but still scary. So we decided to go through it a couple more times, and we actually spent hours at this obstacle, you guys. Probably like 4 hours that we were here, and I was taking such a long time going through these obstacles. But I just wanted to make sure that he was okay and that he understood we could do it. This obstacle, totally cake. He knows how to go up on little ledges like this, no problem. Now, this obstacle was interesting, and Gus actually did totally fine with it. He was not super scared. He was just a little bit uncomfortable about the bottles on the ground. And then once I showed it to him, he was like, oh, it's just a water bottle. I've definitely seen these before. This is not scary to me. And then he tried to sniff them and explore on his own, which was incredible. I love that he takes his time to investigate on his own. And look how relaxed he was, my good boy. So, this obstacle was kind of scary. It had these little disco ball things and then these pool noodles. You can kind of see there's some lights flashing on the tent, which were darker when you're going through it on the inside. I mean, the light was brighter because it's darker inside the tent. Gus was a little nervous by this, and so was I. I was like, okay, this is a little weird. I don't really like the noodles because, if it touched him and he did spook, he could, maybe bump into me. So I was like, oh, okay, let's just kind of go through it. And we went through it several times, and honestly, he did really good. Here he was actually rushing, not because of the tent, but because of these adorable donkeys. He was like, oh, I love my little friends. So we decided to go through it again, and then one of the workers came up and said, oh, let me turn on the smoke for you. And we are like, or the fog, and we're like, wait, what, smoke? Okay, so he turned on the fog smoke machine, and we decided to give it a go with that. And it definitely made the fear factor go up quite a bit more. But look at Gus. He was so incredible. Look at him. We decided to run a little because we were nervous, but he did so good. Oh my goodness, I was so proud of him. And we're going to go through a couple more times. Look at him. Oh my gosh, I could not believe him. He's so incredible. Oh my gosh, I was still so, I was so excited and so happy. And I just couldn't believe that my horse was capable of doing something like this with me. Okay, this obstacle was silly. Gus is not even scared of water. He's a trail horse and he goes through water all the time. But this particular water obstacle, he did not like it. He was like, this is yucky water. I don't want to get my feet in here. Absolutely not. So I was like, okay, let's just walk through this side. Look at him jump through. He was like, oh, I don't want to be in the water. And I was like, it's okay, good boy. And I thought, okay, let's just keep trying to maneuver him around the water. Like I said, he's been through water so much. So I wasn't really sure what exactly it was about this water. Maybe because it was so dirty. Because usually he crosses like creeks or, gets in the lake, but the water is honestly quite clear comparatively to this water. So I'm not sure what it was about this. And he's also been through tarps before. We've done a tarped water obstacle just like this one at home, but the water was clear, not super muddy, brown, dirty. So maybe he just was nervous and couldn't tell how deep it was. And you can see he kind of pushed into me there because he was just like, Mom, I don't like this. I'm so uncomfortable. And I was like, it's okay, buddy. And he jumped it. He was like, yeah, Mom, I'll go over it. Sure, but I'm not getting my feet in that yucky water. And I was like, Gus, I can't believe you. He's going through this one fine, but the other one, he just doesn't like it. So I just stayed patient. I just kept asking. I'm like, good boy. He's touching it, he's smelling it, and then he walked through. I was so proud of him. This was such a huge success for him and a big hurdle. I mean, this was a big challenge. We were so overwhelmed and overstimulated. There were so many people here with chaos all around us from the other horses going through the obstacles. And, just the fact that he tried so hard for me this day was enough. But the fact that we actually could overcome the obstacles and build our skills together to be able to actually go through these by the end of it was the most accomplishing feeling I really have ever had. I mean, this was honestly probably the hardest challenge I've ever done with any horse ever. And I just was really proud of my Gus for trying. And as you can see, this obstacle, it took a lot of patience. And like I said, we were there for hours, you guys. So even though this video is very long, it doesn't even include all of the footage because we just couldn't possibly film absolutely everything. But I wanted to just show as much as we had. And look at him, he finally did it. I was like, oh my gosh, good boy. I was so proud of him for doing it. You can see here there was another little tarped water, obstacle, and he was totally fine on this one. This jump honestly wasn't super scary to Gus. What was scary to him was the little feather boa on the jump and the inflatable man. But he did a pretty good job with this one. Jumps just aren't really an issue for him, but it was just the area that the jump was placed. So we just kind of walked over it and moved on to the very scary inflatable man. Okay, this inflatable man thing was crazy. And honestly, probably the scariest obstacles to me from the whole event was the inflatable man and also that little tent that had the bottle jugs on chains and the tarp on the other side with the streamers inside. Those two obstacles were by far the scariest ones to me and Gus. And I just thought, okay, how are we going to get through this obstacle? I don't know. And I thought maybe I can try to just run through. No, Gus was like, absolutely not. We're not doing that. Are you crazy? And truthfully, yes, that was crazy. That was not the smartest choice because if you can see the little inflatable man, he's like kind of upright, but then the wind is blowing him down and he's actually hitting his arms on the fence. And then it's making the fence jiggle too, which is kind of making it even scarier. So I decided to change tactics and show him the inflatable man and try touching the inflatable man and also being a buffer between him and the inflatable man and just petting him and reassuring him. And I'm not going to punish him for his natural reaction. He's a prey animal. Horses have a fight or flight instinct, and his instinct with this scary thing was to run away, which makes total sense. You may be wondering, Sarah, why did you keep trying? Why do you keep going and going and going? And I thought, well, I really feel like we can do it. I believe in me and Gus. I believe that we can find a way to overcome this obstacle. And I didn't want to leave on a bad note. This was the last thing that we were doing. And he had overcome every other obstacle that we went through. And I didn't want this one to leave us on a bad note since he had spooked at it so badly. But I felt really confident in our ability to be able to overcome this. So I decided to show him the obstacle, and he still really does not like it. And honestly, I didn't either. This was a very difficult obstacle. So I decided to walk him away and give him a break. And we did take a break and then we came back. So we had taken a break and we came back again to try the inflatable man obstacle. And you can see how low this thing is getting from this angle. And it is hitting the fence and making noise and just terrifying. And in fact, I'm going to play some of the regular audio so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, so here I had the idea, if I move Gus over towards the fence, get between him and the inflatable man, and go when it's not slapping down on the fence, that I thought we could do it. And we did it! I was so proud of Gus and so happy that we could end on a positive note. We made it through every single obstacle, and I couldn't be more proud of my little horse. He was a rock star. When I signed up for this challenge, I didn't realize how intimidating it would be, but I'm so grateful for the opportunity to donate money to the horse rescue and learn with my horse. It wasn't perfect, but I do believe we strengthened our relationship by completing this course. It was a huge test for us, working together as a team, and for our first time, I'm really proud of how we did. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed sharing these moments with me and Gus. And if you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe. We put new videos out every Sunday.